Blanco, the superintendent of the Pasadena Unified School District, which encompasses the city of Pasadena, the town of Altadena, and the city of Sierra Madre. I'm here today with my board president, Jennifer Hawley, in the audience. I'm honored to be here today for this strong partnership that will serve our students and community after the most devastating event in the history of our school district. On behalf of our principal, Ms. Brambulia, who could not be here today, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the wonderful Willard Elementary School, an international baccalaureate school, where the staff and community treat each other as extended family. Today is day 16 since the devastating Eden Fire began. And today we were able to welcome back 3,400 students in the first phase of our reopening since the schools closed because of this fire. The leaders of the cities and the Pasadena Unified School District have worked tirelessly together, and all students will return to school by January 30th, if not earlier. This has been a time of grief and gratitude. We grieve for all of our students and the families and staff that have lost their homes and were displaced. More than 10,000 of our students were in the evacuation zone, and so were nearly half of our employees, about 1,400 employees. Ours is a strong community that is holding each other up, and I want to thank our teachers, our support staff, our administrators who showed up today. They showed up even if they lost their homes, if they were housing others, and if they were far out of the cities that surround us. And they will continue to show up for our students. I have so much gratitude for the response of our essential workers, our local and state officials who have wrapped their arms around the Pasadena Unified School District. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Pastor King.
There's a blessing in this house for you. There's a blessing in this house for you. Even though you can't see it, God knows you need it. Believe me when I tell you, there's a blessing in this house for you. My name is Pastor B.J. King. I'm the senior pastor of Loveland Life Center, the Church of Altadena. I just came because I wanted everyone to see that we're together, that we're moving together, we're working together. But here's the thing that I want you to know. I want you to know about Marlis Gordon. I want you to know about Tina and her husband, Mikko, who fought the fires all night long to save their house, and now they don't even know how to return because it's the only house left standing. I want you to know about Beverly and Wynn, beautiful couple who unfortunately died 2 weeks before this, and then the mortuary was on fire, and people were outside screaming, hoping that it wouldn't burn down. The reason that I give you these names, the Sage family, all of them lost 4 homes and 3 businesses because we very easily will count the structures and forget that each structure represents a family. Altadena is a city of generations and generations. Most people that live in Altadena's houses got passed down from grandma to so on and so forth. Beautiful, beautiful people who are on the ground. Sunday, we got out and just jumped out and started praying for our troops and our first responders because they're going through this too. So it's important that you realize that a lot of us have just taken the initiative to be boots on the ground every single day because we're experiencing something we've never experienced before. It's hard to combat something that you've never fought before, but I know a mighty God. And so we serve, and we are just elated to be here every day. I feel guilty putting on a suit today because there's so many of my friends who's lost their homes, who's lost their churches, who's lost their businesses. We feel guilty shaving, because there's some people that don't have it. So I wanted to come and make sure that the governor's office, who is very, very gracious, and they're working very, very hard. I've been in closed-door meetings that most people would never know about. And some of the stuff that was talked about in those meetings were on the news in the morning, passed as legislation. So we want everybody to know that we're stronger together. We get better together. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce you to Speaker Rivas. God bless you.
And thank you, Pastor, for those words and to help put things into perspective for all of us. Last week, my colleagues and I, John Harbedian, who represents this region, who's here, we made a commitment to act quickly, to act urgently, to help those affected by these catastrophic wildfires. And now we're here this afternoon. We're delivering on that commitment. Urgent action. $2.5 billion to help the people of LA immediately. This critical funding will expedite the cleanup of devastated neighborhoods like nearby Altadena, where so many of our communities of color have been, they're displaced. In Palisades, thousands of people have lost their homes, lost their livelihoods. And this funding also accelerates planning to rebuild LA schools, and speeds up inspections and permitting to help rebuild homes. I want to thank our governor for his leadership. I want to thank the pro tem, Mike McGuire, all of our colleagues in the legislature, our fellow lawmakers, especially from Los Angeles, for moving quickly to get things done for LA. Last week, we spent time here on the front lines in fire-wrecked areas. And there are no words to describe the devastation and the loss. We are grateful to all the firefighters, emergency responders who put their lives on the line. I'm also inspired and absolutely moved by the response from Angelenos. So many people across our state, people who have opened up their homes, who have volunteered and continue to volunteer, who have come together to help. And in that same spirit, I want to point out this morning when we passed this important bill, we passed it with very strong bipartisan support. Bipartisan support for a recovery package that, I think everyone in our legislature understands the urgency of this moment. And I hope that the federal government understands that urgency as well. This is not the time for politics and some political games and finger pointing. We need to come together to rebuild this great American city. And I urge President Trump to provide federal dollars quickly, without conditions. This funding is an important first step for LA. I know that we will be here. We will keep working. We will keep listening to the people of Los Angeles to make sure that they have what they need to recover and rebuild. And with that, I want to invite up here the Pro Tem of the Senate, Mike McGuire.
Thank you so much, Speaker Rivas. And I want to take a moment to be able to acknowledge Speaker Rivas for his leadership in this absolutely critical time, and to all the Assembly members who are here today. It is humbling to be with you today, and I'm grateful to be with neighbors. Pastor, thank you for the words. To our first responders and members of the Assembly and Senate, we have Senator Allen, Senator Perez, whose districts have been devastated, Senator Durazo, Senator Gonzalez, Senator Richardson, Senator Rubio, Senator Small-Cuevas, Senator Wiener, Senator Archuleta, and Senator Menjivar. And of course, to our governor, who has been delivering 24/7 from the very first night of this fire. And we owe him a debt of gratitude. These fires, and I don't mean to get emotional, These fires are nothing short of devastating. Our hearts are with all Angelenos. I've experienced horrific fires in the Northern California district that I proudly represent, losing thousands upon thousands of homes over the past many years. And I know right now for so many across LA are overwhelmed. Many are overwhelmed. But we promise we have your back, and we're going to get through this. You know, tens of thousands of LA residents, our friends and families, need our help. Need our help to better rebuild the homes that they love, rebuild the businesses that their families own at times for generations. They need our help right now to be able to rebuild their lives. But what we don't need, partisanship and political BS. And that's why we have moved with urgency today. We put aside our political differences in the chambers. We are laser focused, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat, laser focused on delivering the financial resources, the boots on the ground, the policy relief needed to be able to get neighborhoods cleaned up and communities rebuilt. We fast-tracked this $2.5 billion that was approved, and this should be considered a down payment, which will help kickstart the community cleanup and get neighborhoods rebuilt. No red tape, no politics, no delays. But I can't stress this enough. I have been meeting with the Speaker and the Governor over the past several weeks. We will most likely be back in front of the legislature in the weeks to come on additional supplemental relief. And these dollars, we firmly believe, are going to be reimbursed by the federal government. But speaking of the federal government, I think it's critical to note this. These wildfires that we've seen do not discriminate, no matter what your income level may be or your party affiliation is. Here's the truth. No matter if you lose your home to a hurricane in Florida, you lose your business to a flood in Louisiana, you lose your ranch to a brush fire in Texas, we're all Americans first. And as Americans, we go through tough times as a country. And there are moments in our lives where the challenge is bigger than one community, one county, and one state. And California is going through a tough time. But here's what I know. The cleanup and rebuild may be tough in the months to come. There's so much loss. But survivors are strong. People are resilient. Folks can endure a lot. They just need to know from all of us that California and all of America are standing with them. And this $2.5 billion is a clear commitment that we've got your back, LA. We've got your back now. We've got your back in the months and years to come. Your rebuild, your comeback is California's top priority. It is now my distinct honor to be able to introduce the great governor of the state of California, Gavin Newsom, from day one. He's been here for LA. He is delivering for LA. He's determined to rebuild LA. No expense has been spared. No need has gone unmet. Time and time again, our governor has shown what leadership looks like in the face of unrelenting disasters. For the past 6 years, he has been active, engaged, and delivered in every corner of the Golden State. We are grateful for you, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Thank you, guys. I haven't had a chance to turn around and express my gratitude to each and every one of you, particularly the men and women in uniform that have been working tirelessly, including just got back from the Hughes fire, incident command up there with our U.S. Forest Service and L.A., city and county firefighters, CAL FIRE. The job they did last night, 4,000 personnel putting out that fire, saving the community. Had we not had the resources all assembled in this region, the success of last night and this morning would not have materialized. And it's just a reminder of the moment we're in, the moments that we are confronted with today, tomorrow, as we work through what we hope is the last of the red flag warnings, the PDSs, and we hope to enjoy a little bit of respite this weekend with a new challenge, and that is a little bit of rain and the issues that will transpire as a consequence of that. But I'm here with the spirit that I think defines the comments of all of the speakers. Pastor, I appreciate you saying we're all moving together, we're all working together. In the spirit of what the pro tem said, I will add this: we're all in this together. I'm mindful, just a few days ago, we celebrated Martin Luther King Day, who reminded us that we're all bound together by a web of mutuality. And I think that's the spirit that defines this moment and the urgency that brought the Assembly and the Senate together and brought members not only of both houses together, but both parties together. I want to thank Tom Lackey for being here, in particular. Took the time to come down as an expression of bipartisan support, not just supporting this bill. I want to thank the Speaker and the Pro Tem for their fierce sense of urgency to move this forward, to the budget chairs that are here. I want to thank them. I want to thank everybody that cleared the deck, didn't play politics with this, that recognized that people are in need. And as the pastor reminded me and others the other day when we had a faith meeting, people feel helpless, but not everybody feels hopeless. And I think this is about distilling a sense of hopefulness. The pro tem didn't tell you, a little bit, I'll fill in a little bit more about the history of his district and the Tubbs fire and the impact time. We thought 2017, we'd never see a fire like that again until 2018. And 85 people lost their lives in the Camp Fire, 18,000 structures. It's remarkable. I was reminded by the pro tem and others, 80+% of Coffee Park and community impacted by the Tubbs fires are back. Kids are back in school. Just 2 weeks ago, one of the largest insurers in California announced they were reinsuring homes in Paradise, California, because the community is moving back in. So I say that, again, to distill a sense of hopefulness about the moment we're in and the stress and anxiety so many people are feeling. And so that's the why. That's why we're here. This money will be made available immediately. $2.5 billion, as was said by the Speaker, for ongoing operations and disaster recovery, debris removal, work on logistics and traffic management, address all the myriad of issues that we're facing in real time. But we want to get these dollars out in real time, so there's no anxiety and stress associated with that. We'll be talking a lot more in the upcoming days about next level philanthropic efforts. We'll continue to do more to raise the bar of expectation and excellence as it relates to the work that FEMA and the SBA are doing, the work that our state and local partners are doing at the DRCs, and continue to be mindful in closing that we need to fill the gaps, but also the gaps of understanding. Altadena is a very different community than the Palisades. Altadena is a special community in every way. Every community is special, but few communities like Altadena. Pastor talked about generational realities, generational wealth, memories, moments, heirlooms passed on for generations, and a community that just wants to know we have their back, not just today, but that we're going to be back when all of you are gone, the cameras are gone, and over the course of the next months and years, and make sure they come back, that this community is not displaced, that people don't come in and take advantage of a crisis. And so I want to just express a deep understanding and appreciation, a recognition of that, and a deep recognition of our responsibility to provide for this community in a unique and culturally competent way. With that, I'm honored, thank you, to sign these two bills appropriating $2.5 billion effective immediately to the communities impacted by these wildfires. Thank you all very much for all your hard work.